the bigger picture, the historical context where markets also go down.
Or overfitting, creating these super complex models that perfectly explain the past.
But then completely fail to predict the future because they're too tailored to historical quirks, like trying to force fit data. They capture noise, not just the signal.
And the narrative fallacy, what's that?
That's where we assign higher probabilities to scenarios that just fit a really compelling story we've built in our heads.
Even if the actual stats don't back it up.
It's exactly. The story feels right, so we think it's more likely. The clear message here is lean on quantitative methods as much as possible and be ruthless about questioning whether your probability estimates are based on evidence or just belief.
Don't let the story hijack the numbers.
You got it.
Okay, going even deeper now. Beyond our conscious beliefs, our sources point to something maybe even more fundamental, often subconscious, selfish desires, rooted in things like ego, fear, greed. And these can seriously cloud our judgment, sometimes without us even noticing, like hidden rivals pulling the strings.
This really gets to the core of human nature, doesn't it? Our basic motivations. Ego, for example. That powerful need to be right, to prove ourselves right, even when the evidence is piling up against us.
Defending the initial idea at all costs.
Yeah, because admitting we're wrong can sting. It feels like a personal failing.
And FOMO again, that fear of missing out, that can be a selfish desire too, right? Chasing quick profits, getting that instant gratification.
Instead of sticking to a well-thought-out, value-driven strategy that might require patience, it's the allure of the quick win overriding discipline.
Then there's regret avoidance. How's that different from loss aversion?
It's closely related, but it's more about avoiding the feeling of regret that comes from admitting a mistake. So we might hold on to a losing position, not just because losing money hurts, but because selling it crystallizes the mistake. It makes the regret real.
So we put off the pain by just not acting.
Exactly. These drives aren't always rational, obviously, but man, they are powerful psychological forces that can really lead us astray from objective value.
So how on earth do we manage these powerful, often hidden, selfish desires? Our sources suggest a few strategies. First one, detachment.
Yeah, easier said than done, maybe.
Definitely. Treat your decisions, trading, life choices, whatever, like a business, not like a reflection of your personal worth or identity.
Right. Losses, setbacks, they're just part of the process. Data points. Not personal failures. It requires stepping back emotionally.
Especially when our ego feels attacked.
Yeah, that's the toughest time. Another strategy is accountability.
Like keeping a journal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Track your decisions. And
Right.
crucially, reflect on the emotional triggers around those decisions. Why did you really make that choice? Was it value, or was fear, greed, or ego creeping in?
Learning from your own patterns. Seeing when those desires pop up.
Yes. And finally, rules-based systems.
Getting rules beforehand.
Implement predefined criteria for entry, for exit, for position sizing. Stick to them.
Yeah.
If you've set clear parameters before, you're in the heat of the moment.
It removes some of the emotional pressure. Takes the impulsive decision out of your hands almost.
It helps enormously. It's like having a pre-agreed plan with yourself, a co-pilot keeping you on the rational course when turbulence hits.
Speaking of turbulence,
Yeah.
life, like markets, inevitably throws us storms. Periods of crazy volatility, economic shocks, unexpected personal events.
Curveballs.
Our sources highlight how these moments are the ultimate test. They test our ability to stay laser-focused on value instead of just reacting out of panic or, irrational exuberance.
This really is where the rubber meets the road. And what's fascinating is the perspective shift here. These storms, they aren't just threats. They can actually be significant opportunities.
Opportunities. Amidst the chaos.
Think about it. Volatility, by its nature, creates mispricings. Things get overly sold off in a panic or maybe irrationally bid up. It creates chances to buy genuinely undervalued assets.
If you have the clarity to see them.
Exactly. Or to sell things that have become wildly overvalued. For example, during big market crashes, high-quality companies, solid businesses with strong fundamentals often trade way below their intrinsic value.
Presenting a potential bargain if you have the discipline and the capital.
And the stomach for it. So it's about protecting your capital, yes, but also being opportunistic. Recognizing value when others are blinded by fear or greed.
So what are the key strategies for managing risk during these storms while staying open to opportunity?
Okay, several key ones. Position sizing is huge. limiting how much you expose to any single decision or investment so no single mistake can wipe you out.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Then, things like stop-loss orders in trading or analogous limits in other decisions, predefined points where you say, okay, if it goes against me this much, I'm out, prevents catastrophic losses.
Taking a small, manageable loss instead of a devastating one.
Right. And diversification, spreading your investments or even your efforts in life across different, ideally uncorrelated areas.
So if one area gets hammered by a storm, the others might hold up okay. Reduces the overall bumpiness?
Precisely. These are all disciplines. They're rooted in that value-driven mindset. They help you weather the storm, not get swept away by it.
You know, listening to all this, it really feels like it goes way beyond just trading strategies.
Oh, absolutely.
Our sources suggest that this whole idea, prioritizing objective value over subjective belief, it reflects a much broader life philosophy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A fundamental way of approaching the world.
It really does. If you connect the dots, it touches on some deep philosophical concepts that thinkers have wrestled with for centuries. First, epistemology. How do we know what we know? What's truth?
Okay.
These ideas teach us to prioritize verifiable truths, what we're calling value, derived from evidence and reason over those comforting illusions, our beliefs, which often rest on shaky assumptions or emotions. It's about building your understanding on solid ground.
Seeking truth over comfort. That makes so much sense.
And then there's a strong connection to Stoicism.
Like the ancient Greek and Roman philosopher.
Exactly. Like the Stoics, we need to learn to accept external uncertainties, those storms we can't control, and focus instead on what we can control, our internal disciplines, our value-driven decisions, our responses.
So don't waste energy fighting the storm. Focus on steering the ship.
Beautifully put. By controlling our reaction to volatility and focusing on objective assessment, we gain resilience, clarity. We focus our energy where it actually makes a difference.
And finally, there's also a strong ethical dimension here too, isn't there? How does focusing on value connect with, like, doing the right thing?
Well, focusing on objective value naturally aligns our actions with principles like honesty, being honest with ourselves first, integrity, and fairness, looking at the real picture.
Whereas acting purely on unfounded beliefs.
Can easily lead to self-deception. And from there, potentially to harm, not just financial harm to yourself or others, but in relationships, in career choices, all aspects of life. It's really a holistic approach to living more truthfully, aligning your actions with what is, not just what you wish was true.
This is incredibly powerful stuff. So for you listening, how do we actually put this into practice? How do we operationalize this distinction between value and belief in our day-to-day decisions? Our sources give a practical framework, right? Step by step.
Yes, it's about making it actionable, not just theoretical. First step, define your edge. What gives you an advantage in recognizing value in your specific domain?
Like, what are you good at? What unique knowledge or skills do you have?
Exactly. Is it technical expertise, deep industry knowledge, access to unique data maybe? Understand your strengths. Know where you have an advantage in seeing things clearly.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Step 1. Know your edge.
Step 2, gather evidence. Actively seek out objective information to assess value. Don't just rely on gut feelings or what you heard someone say. Do the work.
Collect the data.
Right. Then, crucially, step 3, challenge your beliefs. This is tough. Ask yourself constantly, why do I really believe this? What evidence actually supports it? And more importantly, what evidence contradicts my belief? What am I potentially ignoring because it makes me uncomfortable?
Question everything, especially your own assumptions, even the ones you really like.
Especially those. That's probably the hardest part, but maybe the most critical. Next, estimate probabilities. Use those statistical tools, scenario analysis, whatever fits, to quantify the uncertainty in a structured way.
Put numbers on it, don't just guess.
Try to, yeah. Then, set clear rules. Define your decision criteria, your entry-exit points, beforehand, and commit to sticking to them. This helps manage those pesky, selfish desires we talked about.
The pre-commitment strategy.
Exactly. And finally, step 6, review and reflect. After each significant decision, look back. Was it driven primarily by objective value assessment? Or did belief, emotion, ego sneak in? What can you learn for next time?
That constant learning loop, always refining the process.
It's absolutely vital. It's how you cultivate that objective mindset over time.
So wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway for you listening? The essence of successful decision-making, whether you're navigating markets or just, life's complexities, really lies in consistently prioritizing value, what's objectively important, what's evidence-based over belief, what we just subjectively wish were true.
Doing that fosters clarity, it builds discipline, it creates profound resilience. It allows you to not just survive uncertainty, but actually thrive in it, to see and seize genuine opportunities that others miss.
By grounding your decisions in value, you essentially transform uncertainty from something to be feared
Yeah.
into a potential source of strength. You can turn volatility into a competitive advantage in a way.
Yeah, and remember, it's not about aiming to be right 100% of the time. Nobody is. It's about making better, more rational decisions more consistently over the long haul. That's the goal.
So remember, this deep dive really shows us that humility, admitting you don't know everything, and curiosity, always wanting to learn more and see reality clearly, they aren't just nice personality traits. They are your greatest allies in this continuous journey of learning and refining how you think.
Mm-hmm. Constant improvement.
So here's a final thought to chew on. As you go about your day-to-day, just pause and ask yourself, what objective truth might you be overlooking right now, simply because a comforting belief feels easier or safer to hold on to?